Hi everybody, I'm very happy to be here. My name is Moshe Shechner. I'm a student in Tel Aviv University and I'll be presenting here the two results from the paper on the robustness of CountSketch to adaptive inputs. And it is a joint work of Edith Cohen, Xin Lyu, Jelani Nelson, Tamás Sarlós, myself, and Uri Stemmer. Okay. So what is CountSketch? CountSketch is the dimensionality reduction method that uses linear projections, and it gets a vector from Rn, and then it reduces it to a lower dimension Rd, and we call this reduction sketch of V, and D is much smaller than N. So the goal of CountSketch is to be able to recover from the low dimension representation the heavy hitters of the vector V. So we can think about it that the heavy hitters, the heavy entries of the vectors are preserved in the sketch, in the low dimension representation. So applications may be for streaming to save memory, in distributed aggregation to save communication, and use a compression method in order to have fewer parameters for a model, for instance. Okay. So what is a L2 heavy hitter? Okay, so this is a key of the vector. This is an index of the vector, which corresponds to the following threshold. Its value corresponds to this threshold, and this threshold is a function of V-tail. What is V-tail? If I take the original vector and just replace the k heaviest entries with 0, so this is V-tail, and that's how we define this threshold. Okay, so what is the goal of the problem, of a heavy hitter problem? We want to return a set of keys, set of indexes, H, and the size of it should be no larger than O of K, and this should include all of the heavy hitters of the vectors V. Okay, so now we know the problem, and we have an algorithm, CountSketch. Let's see two settings in which we examine this algorithm. So the first one is the classical one. This is called the oblivious settings. So at first, a randomized matrix is drawn from a distribution rho. This matrix is used for the dimensionality reduction. Okay, and then for R rounds, we get a query. This is the vector. We reduce it to the low dimension, and then we recover from the low dimension the answer to the heavy hitters for this vector, and we do it for R rounds. So what is the assumption in this setting? And the assumption in this setting is that all of the vectors are fixed in advance. Okay, and what is the performance in this classical setting? So the performance, we have exponential number of queries in the size of the sketch. So the size of the sketch is L, and then we can answer exponential number in L with high probability. Okay, so let's look at about motivation. So for this problem, there are no deterministic sketches. Furthermore, the only algorithms we know for this problem is this algorithm and its variant. So it's interesting to ask how robust CountSketch to an adaptive input. So let's talk about what is the other setting, the adaptive setting. So in the adaptive setting, both 2 points are similar. We still randomize the matrix in the beginning and have queries coming one by one in online fashion, but now each query may depend on previous outputs. So this is the adaptivity here. And the question is, what is the performance in this setting? Okay, so, but why do we care about this setting? Why this setting is interesting? First, because it comes naturally, right? In systems with feedback, we have this adaptivity. And second, we can also consider like a worst case scenario where we have an adversary that completely controls the stream and tries to fail the algorithm, yes? Okay, so prior work did the general frameworks that took existing oblivious algorithms And using wrapping technique made them robust to the adaptive settings. And in these settings, we can achieve space complexity of L, which is the size complexity, times K to the 1.5. And K is the parameter of the heavy hitters problem. Okay, so I need to stop. So I just present the results. The result is the CountSketch is not robust to adaptive inputs. We show an attack, and we also improve by a factor of low K the existing results. Okay, so thank you. If you want to hear more about this result, you should come to the poster. I will be very happy to answer or contact us. Thank you.
Again, thank you all for coming. Thank you for the presentations, for the brilliant talks, and thank you all, the audience, for coming and listening. Just one more note here. We have the poster session tonight at 6 p.m. and looking forward to see you all there. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.